and welcome to another episode of Love, Life and Faith with me, Dr. Abigail. I'm so glad to be back here with you again. And like I said, I am focusing on the family, and I've titled today's topic, Where is My Daddy? There is a growing crisis in the UK, and I believe the rest of the world, of children growing up in homes without a father, with many children crying within for their fathers, suffering as a direct effect of absent fathers or father figures. Anyone can father a child, but being a dad takes a lifetime. The absence or inclusion of the father in a child's life will have far-reaching effects on the child, even going as far as shaping him or her into the person they become. Sadly, fathers can be absent when marriages or relationships break up, and they simply walk away. They can become absent through divorce, death, being locked up in jail, and in some cases, they're still living at home, but emotionally and physically distant from their children, simply not getting involved. When fathers are absent, their absence can negatively impact the child's academic achievement, their social development, their general behavior, even anger management, especially in our male children. Have you noticed when people are accepting awards and making speeches, they always thank their mothers? Now, don't get me wrong, mums are awesome, but there is something about dads that is just so special. Children look to their fathers to provide a feeling of security, both physically and emotionally. An example I see in scripture is in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 31, where God describes himself as a father to his people. The scripture says, "In the desert, you saw that the Lord carried you like a man carries his son on every road you traveled till you reached this place." That is exactly what fathers are meant to do: to carry, to support, to encourage, protect, and guide their children so they may become well-rounded adults who can stand on their own. That scripture vividly portrays the role of fathers. That involved fathers provide a feeling of physical and emotional security that children crave, as a result, promoting children's inner growth and strength. So, for instance, when it comes to fathers and their daughters, many studies have shown that young girls depend on their fathers for security and emotional support. You see, a father shows his daughter what a good relationship with a man is like. They see how they should expect men to treat them and are less likely to become involved in violent or unhealthy relationships. If a father is loving and gentle, his daughter will look for the same qualities in men when she is old enough to begin dating. What about when it comes to fathers and their sons? Well, boys model themselves after their father's character. Boys will seek approval from their fathers from a very young age. If a father is caring and treats people with respect, the young boy will grow up much the same. When a father is absent, you see, young boys are forced to look to other male figures to set the rules on how they are to behave and survive in the world. So what does an engaged, active, involved father look like? First of all, when I say fathers, it doesn't necessarily always mean biological fathers, but for some, fathers can be mentors, they can be spiritual teachers, they can be adoptive dads, even stepfathers. The men in children's lives generally play a really important role. It is important that dads are present because fathers do matter, not just being present, but legitimately caring for their children and modeling good behavior. Involved dads are actively involved in their children's emotional and spiritual development. They invest financially in their children now and for the future. Dads also take time out of their days to attend important events and even spend time to play and listen to their children. All this have a positive impact on the child overall. Many studies conclude that when fathers are actively involved with their children do better, period. This is known as the father effect. In fact, there are numerous benefits when fathers actively participate in family life. So let's look at some of the benefits of when children grow up with involved fathers. Number one, they're less likely to drop out of school compared to children with absent fathers. Both boys and girls who are fortunate enough to have their dads present in their life, they excel and are likely to go on to higher education and find stable employment after high school. They're less likely to end up in jail at an early age. Number two, when kids have a close relationship with father or father figures, they're less likely to have sex at a young age and tend to avoid other high-risk behaviors. Number three, they're more likely to have higher paying jobs and healthy, stable relationships when they grow up. These children also tend to have fewer psychological problems throughout their lives when fatherhood is taken seriously. So many benefits here of fathers being involved. So you see, it is important that organizations and even churches do more to support and help raise good fathers. Doing this will generally strengthen families. Most importantly, dads can sometimes be overlooked, but fathers need to realize that those children, your children, are watching. They're looking up to you all the time for guidance and for validation. A final instruction to fathers from the scripture, this time from Ephesians 6, verse 4. It says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up by training and instructing them about the Lord." See, your children are looking to you. They need that guidance, they need the training, they need support, and they need validation from you. It is time that more and more men rise up and take up their daddy roles and take it seriously. Being present and involved will instill an overall sense of well-being and self-confidence in your child, including all the other benefits I've mentioned before. So, dads do matter because fathers, as well as mothers, still remain a child's most important teachers. I hope you've learned something from today's talk. Let us rise up as men. It's a call out to fathers to rise up and be the fathers that God has called you to be. God bless you. Until I see you again next week for another episode of Love, Life and Faith. Remember, life is a gift from God. Live every day by faith and love it.